Anger is the biggest obstacle to revenge. There is no emotion that desires revenge more desperately than anger. Therefore, there is nothing less suitable for revenge than anger. Like all desires, anger is hasty and reckless, rushing towards its goal only to become an obstacle to itself. One should not attempt to exact revenge with the emotion of anger. Nothing is more inappropriate for the person inflicting punishment than anger. The more objective and valid the judgment determining the punishment, the more effective the penalty. Socrates said to his slave, "I would have beaten you if I were not angry." Socrates postponed punishment until his anger subsided. After his emotions calmed, he chastised himself for the moment he was angry. He did not dare to entrust himself to his own anger. Thus, one must control anger to take revenge. Hold the arrow of retribution at the tip of your tongue and wait. The moment we anticipate will come to our hands if we hold our breath and wait for a moment. Likewise, the time for revenge against the person who tormented us will naturally come when the time comes. When your heart settles down and you are confident in your goal, let the arrow flower in the conscience of the person who torments you. The best way to alleviate the pain caused by others is to take revenge in your own way at the appropriate time. You must seize the moment when the other party is not ready to bury your wounds. Wait for the right time. The moment you want does not come when you want it. You always need to know how to wait for the best timing. And you should always be prepared and ready for when that time comes. Don't hold two arrows. Because of the second arrow, you don't focus on the first one. Even a small fire can burn a big thing. No matter how big and powerful the opponent is, it can't always be a fearsome entity. Even if you are very weak, you can beat the strong if you meet certain conditions. The only way when no method comes to mind is to have courage. To be without money is to lose half of life, and to be without courage is to lose all of life. Don't regret too excessively. It undermines the courage to stand up for the right thing. Like flies, people tend to gather around others' wounds. If someone has deceived you once, you might resent their trickery or consider yourself innocent. But if they have deceived you twice, there's no point in blaming their innate deceptive nature. You, too, have enjoyed their temptation. If you've provided the cause, you must take responsibility. If you have learned and understood, practice it immediately. Soap cleanses the body, and tears cleanse the mind. A single reed is easy to break, but a bundle of 100 reeds does not break easily. The tree with tempting fruit does not sway in the wind. Winners dive into problems. Losers only hover around them. Winners prove their words through actions, whereas losers justify their actions with words. A saint rises 8 times even if they fall 7, but a loser regrets and blames themselves for the 7 falls. A winner's day lasts 25 hours, while a loser's day is only 23 hours. The winner's favorite phrase is, "Let's try again," while the loser's favorite phrase is, "It's no use trying." When a winner sees someone superior, they respect them and find something to learn. But a loser feels jealous and tries to find a flaw in that person. In the winner's pocket, there are dreams, and in the loser's pocket, there are greeds. The path of pessimism is narrow, but the path of optimism is wide. Hope is a powerful weapon that makes the future our own. As long as we do not abandon hope, life holds the tale of the future. Live well. That is the best revenge. Real happiness exists where I am. Humans were born from dirt. Do not be attached to everything. Someday, humans will return to the earth, so think of everything from the perspective of the divine. By distancing from oneself and thinking from the perspective of a transcendent third party, one can view anything in a positive light. A strong person is someone who can control themselves and turn enemies into friends. When words are spinning in your mouth, they are your slaves, but once they jump out, they become your master. You can catch a bird that escaped from the cage, but you cannot catch the words that have left your mouth. A wise person knows what they are saying, and a fool only knows that they are babbling. Speak only the words you can take responsibility for. If you befriend a wise person, you naturally become wise. If you befriend a fool, you will inevitably get hurt. Without patience, you can never teach others. Just as a fish gets caught by biting a fishing hook, a human's mouth is always the problem. Teach your tongue to say, "I know nothing," diligently. A vicious tongue hurts more than a vicious hand. A person who doesn't know how to close their mouth is like a house with a gate that never closes. Think of the words you say as the bridge you cross. If it's not a sturdy bridge, you won't cross it. Silence makes a wise person even wiser. Therefore, a fool does not know the value of silence. The best medicine to quell a fight is silence. Hide from friends what you must hide from enemies. A bad friend cares about your income, but doesn't consider your expenses. Fair weather friends are like migratory birds. They leave your side when the weather turns cold. There are no friends for the one who seeks the perfect friend. Choose a wife a step below your level, and choose a friend a step above your level. Discard prejudice and you'll gain a friend. The most trustworthy friend you have is in the mirror. Fire can keep you warm if you keep an appropriate distance, but getting too close can hurt you. A clear enemy is better than an ambiguous friend. A single word from a close friend leaves a deeper scar than 100 devious words from a stranger. Never blame or criticize someone until you've walked in their shoes. When the devil is too busy to look for people, he sends alcohol instead. People quickly notice other people's minor skin diseases, but fail to recognize their own deadly diseases. Even an excellent speech needs a whip. Even the wise need advice. Not teaching physical labor to your child is equivalent to teaching them robbery and theft. Break away from the past, live in the present, and work for the future. Dress as well as you can. Appearance is more important than you think. Overnight success takes 20 years. The person who can learn something from everyone they meet is the wisest person in the world. If you have a good jar, use it today. It might break tomorrow. When pushing someone away with one hand, pull them back with the other. Do not forsake the one who treats you well. It's a great blessing to meet such a person in one's lifetime. See the small wrongs you have done to others as large, and the large wrongs others have done to you as small. The one who spits into the well will eventually drink from that water. It's more profitable to lose to someone wiser than yourself than to win over someone more foolish. Don't exploit someone else's loss to your advantage. The person who greets first also receives the blessings first. Do not ignore the fool. You become wise because of the existence of the fool. When helping others, make sure you give your full support. Don't offer vague help or attach conditions to your assistance. It's a waste of effort and only brings criticism. Cats and mice don't fight when they're eating the same prey. No matter how thick and strong a chain is, if a single link breaks, it becomes useless. Instead of regretting what's already done, regret what you wanted to do but couldn't. Poverty is not a shame, but don't consider it an honor either. The strongest person is the one who can control their emotions. Ears make friends, mouths make enemies. So listen more than you speak. Wise people talk about what they've seen, while foolish people talk about what they've heard. Do not interrupt someone else's story, and don't rush to answer. Do not ridicule anyone. Help the weak and needy 100 times over. And be cautious of those with a bad reputation. If you're grateful, say thank you loudly. If you're sorry, say sorry loudly. It's not a gesture to feel grateful in your heart. The other person is not idle enough to read your mind. Pay your own way, and if possible, pay for others as well. Never take what others give for granted. Enjoy this moment. The moment you're living right now may later become the best memory of your life. Enjoy to your heart's content so you won't regret it later. It takes an instant to go from happiness to misery, but it takes a long time to turn misfortune into happiness. There's no wealth as valuable as health. You can buy time with money, but you can't buy time with money. The one who controls time controls life. There's always a bit of evil in good places. Evil things are sweet at first, but bitter later. Good things, however, are bitter at first, but sweet later. It doesn't require wisdom for luck to find you, but it does require wisdom to hold onto it. Think as if today is your last day, and also as if today is your first day. Don't look at the shell, but what's inside. It's better to live a poor life than to live on others' mercy. One who thinks himself a villain is more precious than one who thinks himself righteous. The one who harms a person's mind commits a heavier sin than the one who harms a person's body. The truly rich person is the one who knows how to be satisfied with what they have. Be a master to your will and a slave to your conscience. When doing good, weigh the difficulties it causes and the happiness it brings. And when doing evil, compare the temporary pleasure it brings and the subsequent misfortune. Resist the temptations of your right hand with your left,